Angles of elevation and depression. Elevation and depression. Elevation is from level, looking upwards. So if you think of looking straight ahead and then looking up towards the top of a tree or a building, that's what we mean by the angle of elevation. Again, if you're looking straight ahead and then looking perhaps down on the ground at some object, that would be the angle of depression. It really is just two words used to describe a point of view. So 2 word problems, one with elevation, one with depression. From a point 30 meters from the base of the Skylon Tower in Niagara Falls, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 78 degrees. Find the height of the tower to the nearest meter. So you're at the bottom of a tower. So I'll label my top point T for tower. And I am 30 meters away from its base. So this is my point of view. And the problem says the angle of elevation of the top is 78 degrees. So there is my angle of elevation. So I'm on the ground looking up. And now we have our 3 right triangle ratios. In this case, I've got to find the height of the tower. So my h is unknown, and my adjacent side from my angle is 30. So I can use tangent. So tangent 78 degrees equals my unknown height divided by 30. Remember that tangent is opposite compared to the adjacent. Solve using cross multiplication. And we're going to go to the nearest meter. So in this case, h is going to be 141. And that's an approximation. Word problem number 2 is about depression. The light on the Prince Shoal Lighthouse is 25 meters above the water. So here's my light. It's 25 meters above the water. I'm actually going to do this problem twice because there's 2 different perspectives that you can use. 25 meters. Then it says, from a position beside the light, the angle of depression of a sailboat is 12 degrees. Let me just change colors here. So here's our level. And we're looking down. So it says the angle of depression is 12 degrees. Remember, depression is from eye level or eyesight going downwards. So there's my angle of depression of 12 degrees. How far is the sailboat from the lighthouse? So there's my sailboat. How far is it from the lighthouse? So we always assume that buildings are at 90 degrees. And we're trying to find the distance. Let's just call that d, how far it is. Okay, so 2 different ways to look at this problem. We know that these 2 angles up here are going to equal 90 degrees. So the one that we're missing is going to be 78. So in my first scenario, I can use tangent. So tangent 78 degrees is equal to my opposite divided by adjacent, solved by cross multiplication. Tan 78 degrees. Then distance is going to equal approximately 118 meters. So that's using the properties of a right angle. Now I'm going to go about it a slightly different way. If this angle here is 12 degrees, we know that this angle here is also 12 degrees. If you draw yourself another parallel line here, you'll know that those two angles are equal. So now from 12 degrees, from S's perspective, I can now say that tangent 12 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. And if you know how to flip your fractions, you'll know that this statement is true. I'm just switching those around. And then I'll still get the same answer. D is going to be approximately 118 meters. And that's it. Thank you for listening.